Good morning. I am here doing a live story for you in honor of African American Heritage Month. The book that I have for you today um, is Why the Sun and the Moon Live in the Sky. So this is an African folktale. It is a story by Effinstone Dayrell, illustrated by Blair Lentz. So this story will tell you kind of like a legend of why the moon and the sun live in the sky. Okay, so so here's the first illustration. Many years ago, the sun and the water were great friends, and both lived on the earth together. The sun very often used to visit the water, but the water never returned his visits. At last, the sun asked the water why it was that he never came to see him in his house. The water replied that the sun's house was not big enough, and that if he came with his people, he would drive the sun out. So there's the sun and the water having a conversation. The water then said, "If you wish me to visit you, you must build a large house. But I warn you that it will have to be a very large place, as my people are very numerous and take up a lot of room." The sun promised to build a very large house, and soon afterwards he returned to his wife, the moon, who greeted him with a broad smile. So here they are building. There's the moon and the sun. The sun told the moon that he had promised the water, and the next day began building a large house in which to entertain his friend. So he's working hard, and the moon is helping him build it. When it was completed, he asked the water to come and visit him. So there it was, a larger house. And here comes the water, the one with the fish head right here. And here is the house where the moon is ready to greet them, and the sun is at the door to welcome them also. When the water arrived, one of his people called out to the sun and asked him whether it would be safe for the water to enter, and the sun answered, "Yes, tell my friends to come in." So they are going to come into the sun's new big house, where he thinks all of the water and his friends will fit. And here comes all the people that the water had told him were going to come, and they were numerous, they were many. The water then began to flow in, accompanied by the fish and all the water animals. Very soon the water was knee deep, so he asked the sun if it was still safe, and the sun again said yes. So more of them came in. Look at how full the house is getting. But the sun is confident that they all will fit. There's more that need to come in right here. When the water was level with the top of a man's head, the water said to the sun, "Do you want more of my people to come?" And the sun and the moon both answered yes, not knowing any better. So the water's people flowed in until the sun and the moon had to perch themselves on top of the roof. So there all the people were scrunched in the house, and there was more coming. And so the sun and the moon had to sit on top of the roof, perched like a bird on top, because there was no more room for them. Can you predict what's going to happen now that they're getting pushed up outside of their house? Hmm? Let's see. Again, the water addressed the sun. He received the same answer, so more of his people rushed in. So there's more and more people. The water was right. He had many, many friends. And the sun thought they could fit them. Look at how full the house is. It's bursting at the roof. The water very soon overflowed the top of the roof, and the sun and the moon were forced to go up into the sky, where they remain ever since. So because they didn't fit in the house and they were pushed up and up and up from the water and all its people, the sun and the moon now live in the sky. So that's kind of like a legend, like a folk tale of how the moon and the sun ended up in the sky. So here's a little note that I will read to you. It says, the story of how the sun and the moon came to live in the sky is told here as it might have been with African tribesmen dressed to represent the elements and the creatures of the sea. The story was originally told by Elphinstone Dayrell, a district commissioner of southern Nigeria, in his book Folk Stories from Southern Nigeria, West Africa. Longmans, Green and Company, London, of 1910. That's when it was published. And he heard the story from the Efik Ibio people of southern Nigeria, but the illustrations have been influenced by all Africa, and they do not represent any one tribe or African country. So it's a folk tale told by some African storytellers. So that is why the sun and the moon live in the sky. I hope you enjoyed this story. It's a short folktale. I might tell you another story tomorrow about a Kenti that I want to relate to the black snowman and the powers of the Kenti that these kids found in their back alley. It's a really neat story about the power of the Kenti and the weaving of it, and I want to relate it to the weaving in Peru and in Mexico, which I have seen. I have seen people in Peru weave, and I have seen people in Mexico and especially in Chiapas, they do a lot of weaving. So I will show you some of the things I brought from Peru and compare that to the African Kenti. This is one of my favorites that I brought from Chiapas. It is really cool because this was done by hand and it has a sun. It is really cool, very intricate, took months and months and months to make. It is truly beautiful. It is all handmade. See the knots in the back? When I went to Chiapas, I bought this. And so I'll have to share that again when I tell my story. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get to see this later if you weren't live. So enjoy. We have a beautiful day today here in Colorado. It is warm. I was just out. Uh, I went to the post office to mail some things to my daughter, but it's a beautiful warm day. So if it's a nice day, go out safely and enjoy the pretty day, the warm day. Get some rays, some vitamin D, and be blessed that we are here on this day. Okay, I will see you later. Ahorita regreso para leerles este cuento, ¿por qué el sol y la luna viven en el cielo? Se los voy a interpretar en español después de este. Ok, espero les haya gustado. Nos vemos.